Sexual assault among the disabled community. Hey Gucci Gang, I'm Joe Sooch, and let's talk about the silent disability sexual assault epidemic that has been happening since the dawn of time, most probably. I'll link to anything I say that is backed up by evidence, otherwise the reasoning will be from my research and personal experience. First, I want to say I'm privileged to be a white male in a loving home. Yes, I have a very severe disability, and yes, I have my intelligence and white color. It will not negate the stereotype against the disability community or the power dynamic. I was considered safe, and I was sexually assaulted when I was 13. I made a whole video about it, and this video isn't about me, but the victims. I know I say I was sexually assaulted, but mine is considered light to the many stories that exist and to the ones who remain silent. The more you dive into the opposite sex, different color, sexual orientation, intellectual disability, and poverty, the more horrible the numbers become. Let's throw some stats. People with disabilities are sexually assaulted nearly 3 times the rate of people without disabilities. Men and women with intellectual disabilities are victims at rates more than 7 times those for people without disabilities. It is the higher rate of sexual assault of any group in America. Let's talk why the high numbers. First, it is hard to make a blanket statement because a disability can be minor to extreme. It can be just physical or mental or both. Some are just dumb but not diagnosed with anything. The disability community is a very vulnerable group of people. People will judge your disability unless you can hide it. People with invisible illnesses will hide it unless they have to or important to be discussed. It is up, but that's how the world works. Can't do anything about it, but highlight and be cautious. A big thing is the clear power dynamic. Disability people will always be less valued than the average person, excluding money and fame and intelligence. Just by default, disability people are less valued than regular people. Some are able to thrive on their own. Most of the disability community do require help with little things, or me with literally 95% of things. I do my own research and editing, but required to be in a position to be able to do research and editing and like help me set up this camera. If my mom decided to go evil, then I lose access to the world basically. Let's say everyone around me died and I get a new caregiver. Let's name him Hitler. Hitler is my only source to survival. That person has full power over me. My needs are that I can't go to the bathroom on my own, or feed myself, or basically do anything. Hitler could feed me and help me go to the bathroom, but then assault me. He could take away my phone and my computer, and I have no access to anything. Of course, I know it's wrong, but I can't do anything about it. My worries won't help, and I physically can't do anything to defend or even report. The assault sends a check that you blame yourself for it. It makes you difficult to report because you have to repeat everything you've been through. That is traumatic for many people. You need to keep this trauma inside and hope it goes away. Remember the power dynamic? It gets even worse. Hitler could go, if you don't do X, then I won't feed you, for example. It creates a lose-lose situation, and you do anything to survive. Literally just survive. Let's say you report the person. Now you might not have anybody. I try getting caregivers and they don't even show up. Remember, I am reliant on other people. So I'll have to pee and shit in my bed. I won't eat or drink. I will become dirtier, my place of living will be worse since there is no upkeep of it. My physical and mental health declines and will go in a vicious circle to death. Maybe I will be blessed by an amazing caretaker named Betty White and can slowly turn my life around. Statistically, that won't happen and maybe get a mix up in between and life will be mediocre and I am just alive. That is a sample story with me. Now ask someone who is mentally challenged. Do you think they can process what is happening? Just 3% of sexual abuses involving people with developmental disability are ever reported. Just not knowing any resources to go to or even having the ability to think for themselves, or a small part not being able to express themselves verbally. Even a person can think normally, but did not know how if they aren't taught and isolated or not seeking information. Let's change the story to women, and the numbers are absolutely horrible. 83% of women with disabilities will be sexually assaulted in their lives. Approximately 80% of women and 30% of men with developmental disabilities have been sexually assaulted. Half of these women have been assaulted more than 10 times. The numbers are just horrible. To add to it, the numbers I researched and found and reported to you guys or just from surveys. A lot of the sexual abuse or assaults aren't even reported. Most people with disabilities are not even seen as equal or respected. Do you think reporting it will be taken seriously? Even if they can, whether physically or emotionally, or the ability to. They are just there and have to keep suffering. It takes a lot of balls and courage to fight back. Even if they did, do you think they would be respected if they reported it? And they just can't run away and escape. As shit as these people are, we need them to live. They're better than having no one. There's a fear of reporting it to the person, but others will look down upon you, even though it wasn't your fault and you did nothing wrong. Another area that doesn't get reported much is group homes. Yes, there are other staff members and such, but it's a molester's dream. It is a somewhat private location, someone unable to understand what's happening, or won't report. Disability and all kids are kind of taught to, trust adults. Go to an adult in uniform if you need something. That saying stays with them till adulthood. Everybody gets food, even me, but some are unable to think rationally or simply don't have the knowledge to be able to do anything like reporting. They are kept in the dark. Only a few get to experience it in life, experience the hard way, or go out and learn it for themselves. Taking care of someone can be just a job, but can turn sexual and dangerous fast. Could include helping to go to the bathroom or help bathing. There is a fine line between caring for someone and being predatory. Some could never know it's wrong to be inappropriately touched and it's their normal, so they assume everyone is like this way and think nothing. Nothing to report or question. Never think it's illegal or can say no and a person should stop. They could apply to people with lower self-esteem and being surrounded by shitty people. A decent person should respect boundaries, but a lot aren't decent people, hence me needing me to make this video. Over half of these sexual assaults are from people they actually know. I should also include the pressure of wanting to fit in, so you will do anything to fit in, and that includes sexual things. Hell, it happens to regular people too with no ailments. A girl I know was forced to show her boobs so they would stop torturing an animal. It seemed somewhat innocent at the time and whatever, but it starts a huge downward spiral for the person and self-esteem issue. It creates social isolation. If you don't give in, you become an outcast and nobody likes you. Many can't go and make new friends. The more disabled you are, whether physically or mentally, the harder it is to make friends. You are basically isolated to the school or work or caregivers or family or group home. They almost have to come to you. So when you meet someone you really like or regular like, you will do a lot so they stay in your life. To all the sexual assaulters out there who are taking full advantage of people and their situation, go yourself. How can you be a piece of shit? Your life is already hard. Don't make it harder. They have done nothing. Do your job that you were hired to do. Help! Get your fix from a consenting adult. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.